Chairman, I will postpone until after the public hearing, keep these for the purpose of not meeting. But it's my last meeting as chairman, so there will be an election at the end of this meeting to elect a new chairman. So I'd like at this point to open the public hearing.
Sir, we can't hear a thing you're saying.
Oh, okay. Is this thing working? Yeah. Okay, we're getting into the juicy stuff. We're going to open the public hearing at this time. Can you hear me? Is that okay? Okay, is there, Brian, you want to give us a summary?
Before I start the staff report, I'd like to state that all notices were sent out according to KRS. And I'd like to go ahead and give the staff report for 2019-01 FM. The applicant is Highland Hills Holding LLC and care of Elizabeth Punching. And the location is 500 Chapel Street, Falmouth, Kentucky. And you know that is the old middle school building, the old Falmouth High School. The request is for a zoning map amendment to the city of Falmouth official zoning map in downtown D Business B for 4.4 acres for the purpose of indoor commercial farming. Here's the overhead area for you. Again, the request is a change from downtown to business in the city of Falmouth zoning ordinance. Downtown zoning allows various residential and commercial uses which are appropriate in downtown area of the city. Warehousing, industrial processing, storage of prohibited uses in downtown zoning. Proposed zoning is for business, which is the B zone designated as the color yellow on your staff packet, which you see there. The business zone allows for various commercial and industrial uses which generally operate in a completely enclosed building. Indoor controlled commercial farming is permitted use in the business zone. As you can see on the map here, the black lines that go across the zoning for school, that's because that's an historic district. That's an historic designation in our zoning ordinance. The existing structure is in the Falmouth Historic Overlay District and requires approval from the City of Falmouth Renaissance Board before permits construction can be granted.
Sir, can you turn this way a little bit? We can't understand you.
Too loud? Is it echoing?
No, I just can't understand you.
Send the speaker, Mike.
He had his back to us for one thing. He's reading off
Is that better? Can you hear me?
the better.
All right. So, everybody else here? Got a little bit of a reverb going on here. This shows various areas of the property here, the surrounding areas. So there's the aerial view of the old middle school. So the property is located in an area of medium density residential, which is the urban residential zone in the city of Falmouth. Property is, again, it's adjacent to a business zone over here, the old, what we call the St. Elizabeth, St. Louis area, which is again going to be a rehab type transitional center. So that's zone, the map there, that's zone business. The surrounding is the urban residential B, which is your typical medium density residential. And then up the south of the property here is suburban residential, which is a lower density residential. This is tied to the downtown zone and the downtown. So just to give you a little bit of overview there of the property. There are some deed restrictions on the property. The property contains a deed restriction that the property may not be used for any purpose related to drug or alcohol treatment. Give you some history on the parcel. The building was built, we believe, we got from our local story in 1921. In some ways, either 21 or 25. We have some conflicting factual evidence there, but sometime in 20. Property previously served as the Falmouth School and the Pendleton County Middle School, also Pendleton County Adult Education, and throughout history, has been home to King K Regional Theater. So blue is important because FEMA regulates and permits that. So any structure that is located within that, what we call AE zone, which is a designated floodplain, is required to meet FEMA and Kentucky Division of Water and City of Falmouth flood ordinance regulations, and must require and receive permits from respective agencies. The applicant's already stated in their application that they intend to comply with all necessary state and flood permits prior to regulation, or prior to construction, sorry. So if you look at these slides, which are in your packet, this is the building as laid out as it exists today. See the grade of the property, the existing parking lot up through here. This is the old ball field. We got a bathhouse over here, some bleachers, softball / football field. Here's the old school. And moving on, here's what's proposed. What we have here is, of course, we have the old school, but we have the addition of a loading dock over here, which will go into more detail. This here's a farmer's market. We have some parking over this direction, and some access over here, bus parking. This would be the main access to the building here. Back here is the loading dock area and some extra parking. We have new access coming up here on Chapel Street as well. We have the 33,000 square foot greenhouse down here at the bottom. We also, if you notice, we have a tunnel that's going to be underground, which we'll go into more detail about. That will run from the school up here down to the greenhouse. We also have some parking down in this area. We have sidewalk that previously goes around the property. And we'll get into a little bit more detail on that in a minute, but just want to give you a general overview here. So again, the property is in 1% floodplain. The applicant proposes to utilize existing facilities and construct additional facilities on site in order to operate an indoor farming facility. The applicant indicates on the application the facility will be used to grow climate controlled organic produce that will be shipped to distributors and sellers. Facility will offer educational tours and classes on site. All structures will be ADA compliant. The applicant has proposed to build a farmer's market and parking on site for use by the public. The applicant asks for a map amendment due to the fact that the proposed use will be production related and cannot be performed in the downtown zone. Downtown zone was the appropriate zone for school. However, this site is very conducive to supporting an indoor farm. The applicant feels the proposed map amendment supports the economy, agricultural aspects of the community, and therefore conforms to Pendleton County Comprehensive Plan. In your application as well, you'll see the business plan. The business background information was submitted by the applicant indicates the business will employ 60 employees. There will be 20 employees per shift. It's 3 shifts, 7 days a week. Shift time are on page 3 of the traffic report study. There will be 2 delivery trucks between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. every day. The trucks will be on site for 1 hour each day. Trucks will be, I believe, a semi-trailer / box truck format, which I'll have the applicant elaborate on that a little bit more. Trucks will use the access here off Main Street, which is state control highway. It's Highway 22 / Main Street. The access here on Chapel Street will go up the existing concrete curb cut off South Chapel Street here, and we'll go up and enter into the rear, and then come out onto a new access point onto Chapel Street. We'll come around the school, back out on Main Street, and head south to 27 South. So again, they won't be going through downtown or anywhere around Main Street down to 4th and up. They'll have to, according to the plan submitted, have to enter and exit through Chapel Street on Main Street south out to 27th. Tours, also have tours. Those will be located at the old schoolhouse, and they will be Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. for 20 people. And the public farmers market will be located on site on Saturday and Sundays from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. So here's your grading plan for your reference. Again, pre-plan, post-plan, and grading plan. Again, existing structure is 17,480 square feet, 3-story building, which is the old school. And an existing 20-foot by 12-foot building located east side of the property, which which houses a bathroom, used to be used for the softball. Again, we point out the accesses. Proposed structures, again, are 33,000 square foot greenhouse with an underground tunnel. In addition, the north end of the school, 2,700 square feet, which will be 35 feet in height, include a loading dock, and a 30 by 50 shelter located in the south of the property will be used as a farmer's market. We'll have 90 off-street parking spaces. About 40% of the space, again, is pointed out the new access point, Chapel Street, and a 4-foot wide sidewalk will be installed connecting Chapel Street up at the corner of the property all the way around to Main Street. And also we'll have curbing installed up here by the parking lot. However, staff suggests that the planning commission require the applicant to install additional curbing along the southwest portion of the property on Chapel Street in order to connect the curbing from the existing south entrance of Chapel and the proposed southwest entrance on Chapel. It'll actually be right around this area here, which I'll go into more detail when I show you pictures. Side and rear setbacks exceed the zoning ordinance standards for the business zone. Front setbacks along Chapel Street are not met in the southeast corner. The applicant actually has a 40 feet on the setback and they require a 45-foot setback. So the planning commission should include a condition of approval that the front setback variance be obtained by the applicant prior to receiving the zoning permit, and that will be obtained by the Falmouth Board of Adjustments. Again, all utilities are located on or near the property. There's existing fire hydrants in the northwest entrance on Chapel Street and the northeast corner on Main Street. We have 2 detention basins, which are shown here in the landscape plan a little bit, down here and here. So, again, 2 detention basins. Stormwater discharge calculations have not been submitted but are required as part of stage 2 when we review the maps. Going on to the landscape portion, whenever you zone a business or zone to a business from a downtown residential use, required to provide a buffer in between the land uses, that way to eliminate any friction they may cause. So the applicant is actually proposing a 6-foot privacy fence along the north end of the property here. So you see on your plan, you have a 6-inch privacy fence with a combination of trees. And then down this way, as you see in the plan, you have a combination of trees and earth and berms and shrubs. Down here, we have a combination of shrubs and natural trees and a little bit of earth and berm here. So we have the property basically landscaped with a fence to try to break up any pattern of land uses. We have a traffic report submitted. You saw in the application there. So, traffic report was submitted by 143 engineers and shows that delivery routes will be from US 27 on Main and Chapel Street. Trucks will exit the facility on the northwest corner of the property and onto the new access point on Chapel Street. Delivery traffic will be traveling on a local street 450 feet. Report indicates the highest peak of traffic will occur from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. on Saturday and Sunday. This is when the farmers market will operate in conjunction with the production facility. During no hour, there will be more than 20 vehicles entering or exiting the site. The results of the vehicle traffic generated is negligible to the surrounding streets and is less than traffic which occurs when the structure is used at the school. Also in the packet as well, you have a subsurface evaluation from Walton Witness Engineering. This time, I'll make a picture report for you. Here's the renderings that the applicant submitted as part of the application. This shows the way condition of the school, which faces Main Street. Here's where the bus parking will be, additional parking, this will be the main entrance. Kind of see the loading dock off the side here. So this is facing east from Chapel Street. This will be currently, this is the old playground area. They're going to extend parking up here, almost up to the top of Chapel Street. Here's the farmer's market. There's the shelter building. And you kind of see the front of the building from the same. Again, this is farmer's market, so this is the front of the building. Here's the back of the building. This is the rear parking. This is the loading area. It'll be 35 feet top to bottom. The there less than the current building, and loading docks will be right here. Another angle of that. Here's an angle from Chapel Street, it's kind of hard to see there, but here's the loading dock door, so the trucks will actually be facing out this way. You can see has some landscaping there, the buffer, really the new access point on the chapel, going around the school now. You can start to see the greenhouses around here as well. There's a view from Chapel Street, traditional Chapel Street entrance, looking up at the school. Side of the greenhouse here is farmers market area, it's Colonel School. Farmers market picture. Here's the greenhouse looking at the front of the building. There's the greenhouse from the curve in Chapel Street heading up to the school, coming off of Main Street. Coming off of Main Street and heading to the school. Again, in front of the school facing up toward Main Street. These have actually been submitted by the applicant, all with the applicant, going a little more detail on it. This is inside of the vertical farm facility. This is how it's proposed to be finished. Okay, here's the pictures as we look at them today. This is again South Chapel, looking at the school. This is where farmers market will be located. We are again looking at the area of farmers market and additional parking over here. This is Chapel Street, the old entrance to the school, right over here, the loading dock area. And here's looking at where the loading dock will be, looking out over the old football field and the greenhouses will be. So here's what the greenhouses will mainly be, looking from Main Street, corner of Chapel and Main at the building. So the greenhouses will be about 15 foot tall, so we basically block the view of the middle school. And here's Chapel Street. Here's the described curve. We currently have no curve through this area. However, if we take a look here, we have curve going on Chapel Street. This is Main, we can go directions. And right here we have curve ending at Chapel Street. So we have curve all the way around Chapel to here. And then we have from Chapel to Main, we just want to bridge that gap to the development there. Clean the curve up. And looking back the other direction, with Main Street on Chapel. Again, there's a curve here on Chapel Street. Okay, the plan has been submitted by the applicant, and I'd like to pick the plan apart here real quick. So we'll go through the plan piece by piece here, and then note the deficiencies and the comp plan. So the submitted plan meets the minimum requirements of the zoning ordinance, except for the following. The landscape regulations in section 6.11 require a 3-foot high buffer for parking areas adjacent to residential areas. I just need a little more clarification. The parking screening is sufficient to meet standards of the ordinance. I don't exactly have the footage in that plan, so it's just something we want to clarify. Under section 6.14, which is design and construction improvements, it states that any proposed development which does not constitute a subdivision shall require to provide streets, sidewalks, sanitary sewers, storm sewers, water lines, and improvements shall be made, designed and constructed in accordance with subdivision regulations, unless specifically waived. Staff suggests that the planning commission require the applicant to install the additional curbing along the southwest portion of the property on Chapel, again, in order to connect Chapel Street curbing with the Main Street curbing. Under section 6.16, the flood development control, the proposed structure, development located in the A zone must meet requirements of the city of Falmouth flood ordinance, FEMA, state of Kentucky, and receive all permits for the respective agencies that the greenhouses may not. Well, the state of Kentucky, FEMA, and local agencies are looking at the greenhouses. We know we may not be able to build in the flood zone. We're still yet to determine that. We don't need to determine that tonight. But I'd like to state, which I'll further elaborate on, conditions of approval. So we may want to look at 2 different ways to develop this project, just in case FEMA was to deny the greenhouses within the 1% flood zone. If that's the case, maybe an alternate option of how that might work, so that way we can have it in one hearing tonight and wouldn't have to come back to that time about FEMA if you approve the project. So I'll elaborate on that a little bit more here in a minute. The minimum section 7.2E2, it's 45 feet, is required for setback. The corner of the greenhouse on Chapel Street is actually only 40 feet, so there should be a condition of approval, if approved, that the front setback variance be obtained by the applicant from the Falmouth Board of Adjustments. Section 7.2F2 states no lighting shall be permitted which will glare onto any street or adjacent property. Lighting plans have not been submitted, dated staff report. Also would like the applicant to clarify if any additional lighting will come out of the greenhouse. Some traditional greenhouses you see through, middle of the night, you might have a lot of lights coming out of 33,000 square foot greenhouse, so we just want to see if that'll be an issue. So, historic overlay zone, the existing structures in the city found historic overlay zone, and we need approval from the Falmouth Renaissance Board. Zoning administrator shall issue no permits for construction until it has been approved and received a certificate of appropriateness from the Renaissance Board. Section 11.3 states that data should be submitted by the developer indicating stormwater quantities. Information has not been submitted, however, it can be submitted to stage 2 plan. Worth noting is an adjacent neighbor filed a statement in our office last week. She was concerned with the business impact of the property value at 413 Main Street. She's concerned that proposed privacy fence will block the sun and the airflow, and would like clarifications on hours of operation, truck traffic, and employee recruitment and retention requirements of the business. Okay, we want to look at the comprehensive plan here. There are some consistencies with the comprehensive plan, there are some inconsistencies, so I need to point those out. Consistencies lie with the economic development goals and objectives. Pendleton County has the highest rate of out commuters in the state. 6 out of 10 people in Pendleton County work outside the county. We also have declining home prices, jobs. We also have declining agricultural production in the county. This seems to be a good location for commercial property in accordance with the comprehensive plan because it has good access and infrastructure. Preservation of historic structures and the elimination of visual blight is also proposed in the comprehensive plan. This proposed development will improve what we consider degrading property. So the plan also encourages the creation of farmers market, which is highly encouraged in the comprehensive plan. The plan encourages educational and tourism opportunities, and the new sidewalk will increase pedestrian travel. The inconsistencies of the comprehensive plan is that the comprehensive plan only encourages development found to occur out of the floodplain. Renovation of the old school will comply since it's not located in the floodplain. The greenhouse and tunnel addition will be located in the floodplain. Solution to this issue may be to locate the farmer's market in the parking in the floodplain and move the greenhouse out of the floodplain. So that may be something we want to discuss tonight as far as second option for development. The city of Falmouth participates in the community rating system to receive reduced flood insurance rates. Any proper development located in floodplain may endanger the city's participation in this program. We know in order to receive a mapping amendment that we have to find findings of fact that either the application will conform to the overall comprehensive plan for the county, or basically lacking in finding that one or two things have been met. So that the existing zoning classification given the property is inappropriate, and the proposed zoning classification is appropriate. And number two, that there have been major changes of economic, physical, or social nature within the area involved which were not anticipated when the comprehensive plan was adopted, which have substantially altered the basic character of the area. So, staff recommendations. Staff feels that development and proposed map amendment is only consistent with the comprehensive plan if the plan can be developed in a way that makes no significant impact to the floodplain. Staff agrees with the applicant that the downtown zone is no longer appropriate since the school has sold the property to a private owner. The property is adjacent to a business zone property, but is not adjacent to the downtown zone property. Staff believes the sale of the property has been a change that was not anticipated with the adoption of the comprehensive plan. Therefore, staff recommends approval of the map amendment to a business zone with conditions of approval to ensure proper floodplain development practices are followed. Staff suggests the following conditions of approval. Number one, we'll letter A, complete stormwater calculation plan be submitted as part of stage 2 plan. B, that the applicant should provide clarification that park screening is sufficient to meet the standards in the zoning ordinance. C, the applicant to install additional curbing on the southwest portion of the property on Chapel Street in order to connect the curbing to the existing south entrance on the Chapel to the proposed southwest entrance remain on Chapel. D, staff feels the planning commission should note the need for a submittal of lighting plan which outlines to section 7.2. E, any proposed structures or development located within the AE zone must meet the requirements of the City of Falmouth flood ordinance, FEMA, and the state of Kentucky statutes, and receive permits from respective agencies. And again, staff suggests that the planning commission consider other development options in order to accommodate floodplain regulations. F, the planning commission should include a condition of approval of front setback variance to be obtained by the applicant and found for adjustments of need. And G, the applicant shall have a certificate of appropriateness from the Renaissance Board.
Can you flip the slide, please?
Yep. And that concludes this afternoon.
Okay, is there anyone here representing the applicant? Would you like to speak to this?
So I'm not going to use the mic, I'm just going to speak up. Can everybody hear me okay? I don't have any slides. You want to show some more of the rendering photos? I basically, yeah, start the, if you don't mind, Brian, thanks. So my name is Ross Shively, and I'm the one that sort of spearheaded this project to bring to the town. And I just kind of want to share a little bit of my vision of what I anticipate this to be in the end. And what this is to me is I'm absolutely thrilled and excited to bring an innovative and progressive farming project to this town. Upon completion, this will be the only thing like this in the entire state of Kentucky. So therefore, it not only is intended to give a boost to the local economy, but literally puts Falmouth on the map for basically bringing into the town such a progressive and innovative farming concept. Now, there will be, it's vegetable farming. I wanted to be clear with that. You know, we had some questions. Are you guys growing marijuana or things like that? So this is vegetable farming, and the inside of the building is your leafy green vegetables. I brought my master grower if you guys have more specific questions about what and how we will be growing them. So leafy green vegetables, your lettuces, as well as mushrooms and things like that in the school building itself. And then in the greenhouses will be your vining vegetables, your tomatoes, cucumbers, peppers, things like that. Now, how this sort of, again, is envisioned as such an innovative concept, because a lot of, you know, we will be able to grow products more quickly. You know, you have, and I'm gonna let Jim talk about some details on that. But really, the way what makes it so exciting is that this concept is truly the future of how farming will be eventually. It's the same as, you know, the automobile, you know, one day, whether you like it or not, we're all most likely going to be driving electric vehicles. We kind of know that that's where that industry is going. The farming industry, this is the concept where farming will be someday because of the issues. Everybody knows that, you know, the lettuces are being pulled off the shelves and things like that because of contamination, listeria, and things like that. It's because all of our vegetables come from Southern California. And Southern California has collapsed all of their aquifers that filter the water. And so you have these macro tendencies where field farming is sort of failing. And then also the other side of it is it's in California. That's a 3-day drive with trucking. So you're either harvesting the vegetables 3 days early and they're ripening in a truck on the way out, or they're overripe by the time they get here. And so you've got freshness issues. So all of this will be 100% organically grown. So you're going to have healthier food, locally grown, employing and boosting the local economy. Every checkbox you can see. And one of the reasons why we chose this site is because a big part of what we're doing is not on the production side, it's on the education and tourism side. And so we want this to be a tourist destination for people to see and be educated by this concept. So that's why, what better building to choose for education than a school building, you know? Because in all reality, is this the best building for this kind of project? No, a big warehouse kind of structure would probably be the best. But the juxtaposition of having an old school building be completely renovated, and it's, the buzzword is an adaptive reuse project, to see, you know, an old school building, and then you open the doors and you see this absolutely amazing high-tech indoor farming concept that is, you know, eventually going to change the world and how farming is done. That is just an amazing concept that I'm excited to be a part of, in all honesty. And so that's kind of, I'm just kind of, you know, I didn't prepare any of this. I'm just trying to give you guys so you can sort of picture the vision that I have in my head. And so I'm visualizing, you know, we talked about us in this video, yeah, I guess we can just run it on a loop or something, is, you know, basically just an animation of some of the renderings that we saw earlier, and it loops around the project and shows you, and these are extremely accurate to scale, by the way. All of the drawings that were created by the architectural firm are then put into this 3D rendering. So even the lighting of where, if there's, you know, like a sunset sort of photo, is actually where the sun sets. So these are extremely, extremely accurate to how the project will look upon completion. And, you know, even down to the landscaping, they've done an amazing job on creating sort of an inviting park-like setting. And so with the addition of the farmer's market, now the farmer's market was my idea as sort of a gift to the town, you know, so we're not necessarily determining the parameters of the farmer's market. We're actually getting feedback from the town and from some of the people that organize the farmer's market currently, and telling, you know, asking them, what's your input? How do you guys want us to build this? I'm paying for it. I'll do whatever within reason that we can do to create an inviting structure for the farmer's market, to just host it there for all the local farmers markets to sell their products. This is not for our products. And we've even had, you know, some advice on making it a multi-use structure. So maybe it could be even rented out like a park structure for family reunions or weddings, or, you know, things like that. So there's a multitude of ideas that we can possibly do with that. You know, again, within reason, we're going to try to do all that. But we want the space to be inviting in general. Like I said, a park-like area with the retention ponds along the side of the greenhouses, you know, with the trickle of a fountain or something like that, and plenty of seating and park benches. And then the greenhouses, or not the greenhouses, the farmer's market again will have, you know, we can put ceiling fans in. We've had suggestion maybe an outdoor kitchen, so in the farmer's market, they might even be able to prepare food at the farmer's market. You take to the picnic table in the trees to the side and have, you know, picnic kind of area. There will be tours within the building, so you can go in. I'm envisioning one room off to the side where you can watch a brief movie of the concept of vertical farming and be educated on what vertical farming is. Then you can do a tour around the building where you'll have, you saw the screens of the interior shots where there's big windows that look into what were the old classrooms, and you'll see what we're growing, and maybe a speaker, you can push a button that's got a narration of what's growing in that room, and bring in school groups and things like that to tour the facility. And then, you know, you walk around, there's a huge, on the addition, there's a huge balcony structure on the top that gives you a view over the whole complex. That's going to be amazing. And just everything about it is really exciting. The tunnel that we've talked about is an underground tunnel that connects the addition to the greenhouses. So we can transfer product from the greenhouses, whether it's, you know, 110 degrees in the summer or it's 5 degrees outside in the winter, we can get the vegetables fresh to our packaging area for shipping. And just the flow of the whole building, the way that the architecture firm has pieced everything together and thought of everything we could possibly think of to keep the workflow accurate, as efficient as we possibly can. And just the growing itself, which maybe I'll let Jim give a brief rundown of the technical parts of that, if you have any interest or questions on that. But so from a production side, this facility is not going to be, it's not the largest facility as far as production, in actual square footage production, it's less than 2 acres of farming. So it's not like this is some mega monster farm and we're coming into town to, squash the local farmer. It's the exact opposite. We're coming into town to boost the local farmers, offer them a place to basically advertise and sell their products at the farmer's market. Even in the gift shop on the way out after the tour, we've had, some innovative ideas of creating like an artesian, a local artesian corner to the gift shop, so local artisans can display their whatever wood crafts. We've heard, candles and soaps and glass blower, whatever. And so it creates. You guys are all familiar with, I'm sure, Cracker Barrel. It's got all of their gift shop is half their facility. So and people love that. When people come to tour a facility like this with agritourism, to be able to see and experience the town and all of the local aspects of a small town, that's exciting too. So, so that's the vision that I've sort of picture in my mind, and just the boost to the local economy here would be tremendous. You heard Brian say we're anticipating on employing 60 jobs. Bringing 60 jobs. So he also said, from the traffic report, most of your local jobs, people drive up to Cincinnati for their work. Now we can employ 60 more jobs in town, and they don't have to drive. So everything we could possibly think of to encourage and build the local economy, we've tried to incorporate into the structure. And on top of the innovative concept itself, is just I'm over the moon excited about getting this done. And I've got to just thank everybody for all of the support that I've gotten locally from everybody that we've that's been a part of helping us develop this project and work with us with ideas. I've gotten nothing but great praise and support. So I want to thank everybody for that. I don't know where we're going with questions now.
The format of this meeting is if there's anyone else that wants to speak on behalf of the applicant, what will happen is the commission will have a chance to ask you some questions.
Sure.
And then there was a sign-in sheet for everyone who is here to speak tonight. We'll give them a chance to get up and speak to the commission.
Perfect. So I'm done. I'm going to stop blathering, but I'm just excited, so I was trying to spew out everything I could say. Jim, do you want to say anything about the farming side of it? Or?
Whatever questions does anyone have?
Well, I guess I can start. One of the mentions there, there was quite a bit of talk about farmers market.
Yes.
Did I understand you correctly that you said you would not sell your product there, that would be for our local people?
So the idea is that, do we have a rendering of the farmer's market? So the idea is the structure would house several different display racks. So the traditional farmer's market, which I haven't been to your guys' farmer's market, but it's typically you set up those white pop-up tents, you back your pickup truck in or however it works, and you display your food however. So this, we're wanting to create an easier and more accessible display area And so we'll have display racks, and then I think we planned for, I don't know how many racks in there. The minimum of 10 or 12, so, you know, so instead of, it would be less spread out, you'd have 10 or 12 different display units, and they can display what they want. Now, might we have, so yeah, you can kind of see there the different, yeah, so you know, you've got 5 on each side there in that photo. But this structure, again, can be expanded, or the roof changed, or, you know, one of the sides, or maybe multiple sides enclosed. You know, I don't know, there's many options within reason of how we can do this. This is just, again, an art rendering of what we anticipate.
If I can address the question, the intention is that we would in no way, shape, or form sell anything that's being grown locally in a local season, or be competitive against someone who's growing locally. We'll be growing about 42 different plant types within the building. So there could very well be a situation if it enhanced the farmer's market and no one was growing that, we might put it out there so that it helps draw people in, because there are people like that, or we might work with local FFA and some of the other groups, where they might sell some of our surplus stuff for basically raising funds for their organizations if we want to collaborate. But the intent, we're intentionally not being competitive against the local market. Our primary customer base will be, it is fairly significant retail stores we already have lined up. So we're not looking at the farmer's market as a source of revenue. It really is more of a source of trying to get healthy food to the community and being a part of the community from our perspective, from a business standpoint.
Can I get your name for the minutes? I have to have the names.
I'm sorry.
Your name for the minutes.
I'm Jim Bloom.
Last name is?
Bloom.
Oh.
It really is true. I know it sounds funny since I'm a grower, but I am a farmer. So those are farmers. I'm a true farmer. I'm a member of the Ohio Farm Bureau, the Indiana Farm Bureau, and soon to be a member of the Kentucky Farm Bureau. So I am a farmer.
So on the farmer's market part again, me being a member of the farmer's market, just a question, you had mentioned that you had talked to the people in the farmer's market.
We have not had an official meeting yet. I believe it was Jeff and Sarah. I've sent out an email to them. They have not responded to me yet, but I have full intentions of getting their feedback and working with them closely with their input.
Again, if I could, Bill, one of the main things for there was just the idea that there'd be potentially a lot more traffic flow. So to give the folks from using a local farmer's market a significant bigger market to potentially get their products in front of people. So the idea was, again, to try to enhance it. From a business perspective, that's not a part of our business model at all. It really is trying to enhance as a community member. And that's what we're trying to do.
Regarding the floodplain issues, how much flexibility do you have to move those greenhouses on the site? And what would you do about the tunnel if it floods?
Well, hopefully it doesn't come to that. I'm not trying to be, the ideal location is where they're located, and again, have a little bit of background in this whole area. So that really is, and there's lots of reasons for it, just on the growing practice itself. But, what we do is basically it's a gravity feed system, so it makes it a lot easier being where it is for the slope and all that kind of stuff. If it comes to that, we'd have to kind of yeah.
So, the tunnel is, Steve stood on the NSP.
Steve Stewart. Okay.
So the tunnel, the way the tunnel is set up is, the tunnel and the greenhouse currently are gonna comply with all, FEMA, standards. So, the tunnel is basically, subjected and designed to be flooded up to, now, the basement level is lower, so theoretically, if the tunnel flooded, it would flood the lower level of the building. But we are incorporating a watertight door on the inside that can be shut and sealed and completely submerged. So, we presented that to FEMA, and they seem that basically a concrete tube that can fill up, and then it'll just backflow out.
And just for a comment real quick on locating the greenhouses next to the school building, a big part of what we're trying to do is maintain the historic significance of the building as well. So, you know, that's important to me, and would be important to a lot of people in town that went to that school. You know, we want to try to enhance the image of the historic building itself, and if you clutter it up with greenhouses along the sides, it's going to block the view of the building itself. So ideally, that's not a great idea at all, and so that's why we chose the space down below in the football field.
I have a question on the greenhouses. We have greenhouses as well as our farm. They're supposed to be, they should be north to south, and these are east to west. Is there a reason that they
Yeah.
would be east to west?
Again, there's two reasons. It has to do partly with the land that we have and the orientations that we have to try to, again, it is a commercial farm. I mean, I want to make sure everyone's aware of that. It is a commercial farm, and so one of the things you're trying to, again, is try to establish a way that you can get the best production of it. We will use supplemental lighting, so one of the main reasons people orient them the way you originally said is because they're primarily using just all natural lighting. We'll use as much natural lighting as we can. There will be supplemental lighting. Again, just to assuage people's concerns, the greenhouse is not lit 24 hours. Basically, the way Kentucky is, it won't be lit at all in the summertime, at all. And the longest it would ever be lit would be a 16-hour period. So let's just hypothetically say 6 in the morning till 10 at night, and that would be basically when we're in winter months like this. But it is not a 24-hour lit operation. And when it is lit at night, we would probably put shade block to mitigate any light transference that would be troublesome to the neighbors. And that's a fairly easy modification that you can basically put into a greenhouse. And I mean, again, I apologize, you obviously know that, but that's the intent is to.
Thank you.
I would like to continue with a few things too. Like I said, I've got a list. I represent the city of Falmouth here. And one of the things that was read earlier, and you may have to elaborate on this, that there was a concern from a resident of 413 Main. And really, this maybe they can ask that question later. But if that's the only resident that has filed anything with your office, I'd really like to have that read again and have that addressed. And that was on my list. There's something about air, light.
And I think, when it's time for.
And that would be fine, as long as we make sure that that's on the top of my list.
And I'll read it in the
Where that
record.
resident's questions are answered. Okay. I know with farming, I mean, you said that was organic, it's a completely different question. Pesticides.
We're a non-pesticide farm.
Okay, pesticides, I also saw that on the original engineering plans that we have up here, that we have things scattered. There were some holding tanks, or maybe some kind of underground structure for some water holding, the reusable water. Can you address those?
So, depending on which tanks you look at on the plan, there is, on this plan, to the left of that farmer's market structure, below there's tanks, and what the goal here is to reclaim all the water to the roof. So all the water that comes off the roof, which would typically get diverted into a storm, sent into streams, is going to get collected into tanks and then repurposed back in the building as a water source. So go for filtration system.
Those are the tanks in that area there.
Those are trees. Yeah, tanks are,
To the left of the farmer's market structure. Left of the farmer,
yeah,
right there.
so there's a few there. And then also in conjunction with that, there are some tanks below the greenhouse that would hold a nutrient-rich runoff water. That would be
The site is right in here, right below these trees here, these two boxes, are those tanks?
No, those are covered shelters. Yeah, you can read the notes and you have to print out, but all the tanks are not visible.
They're under the greenhouses themselves.
You're talking about building tunnels, how long will it take to do this project?
Sorry?
Project.
A completion of a
We should
project,
do
when
it.
would you expect that to be?
Oh, a timeline?
Yeah, just,
I don't really know. Yeah, 12 months? Construction? Start finish?
I mean, the greenhouses would be first, the easiest, again, assuming that it was approved. The greenhouses would go up first, and then there's quite a bit of, obviously, modifications that have to be done inside the building. But
Yeah, so it's basically almost a two-phase. Get the greenhouses operational first, and while we're working on a more extensive renovation of it.
You're gonna employ some people, are you bringing your own people, or you plan on employing?
the plan calls for at least 75% of the individuals that will work there to be from the area. One of the main things that we are going to need to be doing, and we are working with that, is working with the local universities and the USDA. We met with the USDA earlier today for training, because our farming is a little bit different. It's very, a lot of science, a lot of technology to it, a lot of logistics, so there's a little bit of training that needs to come along with it. Again, it's one of our goals is to try to especially the younger population, get them interested in farming again. The other thing we would very much like to do is help folks that currently own a family farm that have to have a second job. We would love to have them actually come over and farm for us. That way they could stay in the